Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this reading, I'm using my Osho Zen tarot deck. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing 3 cards, and each card is going to represent a different portion of the upcoming week. And I just want to get a snapshot, kind of some insight into what we can expect, what some of the energies, the opportunities, and the themes of the upcoming week are going to be. Okay, so let's start with the first card, which represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. Okay, so here we have playfulness. This is actually the Page of Fire, so it would also be like the Page of Wands in a Rider-Waite deck. The Osho Zen Tarot is a really fun deck, and the suits are a little bit different. So instead of wands, pentacles, cups, and swords, we've got, I think it's air, rainbows, water, and something else, fire. So here we've got Page of Fire, playfulness, and I feel like the message here is enter the week with a spirit of play. Things may have been really serious for you up until this point. Maybe right now, whether you're trying to make some big decisions or making some huge changes, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to be more playful here. That's what's kind of missing. So if you're feeling stressed out or stressed, or even just like something's missing, this is kind of the element that's missing for you, is playfulness. So see if there's a way that you can bring more fun and joy and playfulness into your life. And one great way to do this is through laughter. So think of how you can bring more laughter into your life. And one thing that I've been doing, I noticed like the other day, I was so stressed out about something, and then I sat and watched this really stupid, kind of like a teen movie from the 90s. It was like a comedy on Netflix, and it just like totally changed how I felt. Like it just lightened me up, and I just felt so much better. And so I mean, that's one way you can bring more laughter into your life. And I also have like a whole bunch of like really funny books that sometimes I'll pick up and read, and that just laughing, just kind of it lifts your vibration, and it really changes the mood and can help you deal with things that are really serious when you bring laughter into your life. So moving on to the middle of the week. So this card represents a Wednesday and Thursday. Ooh, and we've got another fire card, so that's exciting. So this is 5 of Fire, so it would also be 5 of Wands in a Rider-Waite deck. And this card says totality. This is all about totality. So in the Rider-Waite deck, and I can't help but just compare this deck to the Rider-Waite deck. In the Rider-Waite deck, this shows a bunch of people with sticks, and they're not fighting, but they're like almost play fighting or something. And it's about, like competition and stuff like that. This card has a bit of a different meaning, and it's not so much competition, it's about working together. And as you can see, there's 3 trapeze artists here, and this is about trust and relying on someone else in a pretty big way, and being able to let go, but also being able to hold on and grab on. And that has a whole bunch of symbolic significance. But ultimately, I feel like the middle of the week will be about having to rely on and trust other people in your life. So there's all different ways that could play out. It could be, trusting someone's advice, asking for help, trusting someone else to pick up the slack. Or at work, it could be about, entrusting a project to a coworker. But whatever it is, it's going to require total trust on your part. And that's going to be the challenge of the week, is being able to kind of let go and trust, because you may not have enough knowledge to base this trust on. You might feel like you shouldn't trust this person, or you don't know enough about this person to really trust them, but yet you're going to have to. So that's kind of the challenge this week, I think, is trusting others and And also, you may be in a situation where others are relying on you or really trusting you to come through. So this is, I feel like the theme is kind of a team effort here this week. But there's a lot of red in both of these cards, which is interesting. So I'm dying to see what this next card is. Okay, so a bit of a slightly different color scheme, yet I feel the energy is very similar. Interestingly, the body language of this guy here is like exactly the same to this card, like exactly the same, which is a little bit creepy. Like they're both looking up. It's so strange. The only difference is that the clown has his leg crossed, whereas this New Vision card, his legs aren't crossed. Other than that, it's really similar, which I think is pretty significant. So New Vision, it's a major arcana card, and I believe the Rider-Waite equivalent is the Hanged Man. So New Vision, and when you think about the Hangman, he's hanging upside down, so he has a different vision, different viewpoint. New Vision is about, well actually, if you look at the card, there's I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well in the video, but there's an image of a person crawling on their hands and knees, and they are covered in like tree roots, and then it's almost like this person is morphing into this person here, and the tree roots are growing up his legs and then turning to feathers on the rest of his body. So it's almost like he's rising above something. He's kind of transforming himself in a way, going from this sort of lowly earth being crawling to something very dynamic and moving, and something kind of full of energy. Essentially, New Vision is about gaining new perspectives, and I feel like it's about gaining a more spiritual perspective. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're going through right now, it will be helpful for you to get a really good spiritual perspective on your challenges, or maybe you're not going through challenges, but whatever it is that you're doing in your life right now, gaining a spiritual understanding of some of those things that are happening. Another way to say this is, seeing the big picture and looking at things through a slightly different lens. So one way to do that is maybe seeing your enemies, or not necessarily enemies, but people that drive you crazy and people that maybe cause a lot of strife and pain for you in your life, and sort of looking at those people through a different lens and seeing like, okay, what's the, if this person was here for a positive reason, what might that be? Like, what are some positive aspects of this relationship that I'm not seeing? Because there's a negative and a positive to everything. So even things that seem horrible, there's often a silver lining. And things that seem fabulous, sometimes there's a downside. And I think of like long periods of time where I haven't been, nothing bad has happened. I haven't been stressed. I've been happy. Everything's going great. And I think those times in my life are wonderful. And I wish it was like that all the time. But I guess the downside would be that you don't have as much, sometimes you don't have as much intense spiritual growth in those times. And you aren't necessarily being challenged very much. So everything has a positive and a negative side. So just kind of taking a step back, I want to ask you what you think the significance of these two cards being so similar are. I'll share with you my take on it, but I want to hear your take. So I feel like there's a real sense of aliveness and dancing with both of these cards. I feel like movement and I mean, both these cards have these star-like things, which is just so weird. They're so similar. I feel like movement, dance, both of those things can be very powerful in breaking up energy, helping us move out of old patterns, and helping us deal with things. I think that, to me, that's how I'm going to interpret these two cards. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So feel free to let me know in the comments below. So this has been your weekly tarot card reading. So it looks like an exciting week of playfulness, laughter, learning to trust others, and also gaining some kind of new spiritual perspectives. So my name is Kate. You can find out more about me and learn more about tarot card reading on my website, dailytarotgirl.com. Thanks for watching.